Woodward Sports Network presents a sports show that's more than just sports. Welcome to The Bottom Line with U of M great and former NFL star Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermanni. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
And here we go. Thursday, April 7th, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, Bottom Line, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
Yo, my friend, it's always a good day to come hang with you guys, man. But this guy, Maz, man, I love Maz so much because you can be at odds with Maz and he'll just say something and just make you smile. Not that we were at odds about anything today. It's been a great day with us. Our report has been great. But he just said one of those things right before the show started and just gotta love this guy, man. So I love coming to work, and here we are.
Good afternoon to you, Tom Mazawey.
Hey, fellas. Bray, I feel the same way, man.
I love you guys.
We all got to pick each other up, right?
This is true.
Amen
just like
to
Tiger's
that.
picking up the Masters, too.
That's it.
That's right. Tiger Woods on the course right now, even through 10. Pretty darn good round so far for Tiger Woods. And some of these galleries are just insane that you would see on a Thursday of any tournament. I mean, it looks like a championship Sunday, you know, walking down 18, but everybody wants their chance to see Tiger.
I talked about it yesterday. I actually tweeted. We talked about it on the show. I said what he was able to overcome in terms of the car accident 14 months ago. He was talking about almost dying, then almost getting his leg amputated, and he comes back and we talked about Tiger's very transparent whenever he gets into these tournaments. Whenever he talks and does his pressers, does his interview, he won't give you any bull jive. You know, he won't give you any of that. He'll tell you how he feels. If he's not up to it, if he doesn't feel good, he'll tell you he doesn't feel, but he's still going to go out there and give it his all. They asked him, point blank period, Tiger, do you think you can win? I do, and you're seeing it right now. He's even, had a chance to be -2 so far today, but being even, I tweeted out, man, if this joker wins it all, he'll be the first player I think deserves a national holiday in his honor. For what Tiger has done in his career, he means the most to the sport. He means the most to golf than anybody else means to their sport. That includes Jordan, that includes Babe Ruth, that includes Hank Aaron, includes everybody you can throw into that category. Tiger means the most to his sport. He deserves a national holiday if he wins.
He almost aced the 7th hole.
Hit the flag.
He's unbelievable. He's a freak.
He's operating right now on he's walking with a noticeable limp. He's operating on a leg and a half and a ton of screws and nuts and bolts.
And a bad back.
And not to mention his back that will never be the same.
Yeah.
But guess what he's not doing? Like some people, he's not complaining. He's not load managing. I tell you that much.
There's no doubt about that. Tiger Woods 2 back now. There's a group of 6 golfers tied at -2 right now.
Who cares about them?
Just saying, that's where he is. Nobody really running away with anything in the early parts of round number 1. The afternoon tee times, lots of guys going off in the 2 o'clock hour. You've got Dustin Johnson, Billy Horschel, Jordan Spieth, Xander Schauffele, Rory McIlroy, Brooks Koepka, Paul Casey. Paul Casey actually withdrew from the tournament, but a number of golfers get off at 2 o'clock. Tom Mazawey, big night for you tonight. Even bigger night last night.
I had a great time last night. Heading to the Pistons game last night. Took my daughter and her friend. Picked them up from soccer. They were soaking wet. They practiced outside. I said, go into school. Try to dry off as best you can. We got there. We bought them a couple of hoodies right off the get-go. The only bad part about going to the Piston game down there is the parking is terrible.
Terrible.
It's beyond terrible. And the police... They shut blocks off. You can't go this way. You can't go that way. You know, I know my way around down there.
Yeah.
So I know where to park, to avoid paying $40.
Yeah.
You can't get there. They want $75 for the garage, $40 on the lots that are right there. I found one lot. The guy wanted $35. I'm like, I got $20.
Right.
He said, all right, give it to me. Took the 20, and I went in and parked, and we walked 2 blocks.
I see you get your haggling skills on right there. I see you King Haggler. The best thing for me to do is shout out to DJ Tom. Tom lives right behind King High School. Best bet for me tomorrow, I'm going to Tom's house. I'm parking. I'm going to Uber over to Bradsboro tomorrow and get it in. I'm not worrying about parking. Nobody has to deal with that. Nobody should have to deal with that. I'm damn sure not going to.
No, listen, not tomorrow.
It was supposed to be better than that, the parking area. It's supposed to be better, and it's not. But I'll tell you, I thought I was going to go in and I could go sit at the courtside. They had a hell of a crowd.
Really?
A hell of a crowd.
People are showing out.
Yes,
huh?
And it was loud. It was great. They hung in there with the Mavericks. Obviously, Mavericks are a different team than us. Cade Cunningham, they said he's going to be out for the year. They're pushing that kid to be Rookie of the Year. He shows it, man. he's really got it, man. It was great to watch him, and it made my love of basketball come back. Not that I lost it, but it's my favorite game, without a doubt, to go watch. There's no game to me, even better than baseball. Put me at a basketball game. I just love it, and they're great athletes. And this team they're not bad.
Other than the NFL, Braylon, because we're all fans of the NFL, and we're all you could watch any NFL game, but when your baseball team sucks, when your basketball team sucks, when your hockey team sucks, it does kind of take your love of that particular sport away for a while. I mean, when the Tigers are good, you're watching the Indians or the White Sox or the Royals or whoever play. You want to see if the A's are going to lose that game because you're moving up in the wild card. You might want to get that home. I mean, in a basketball playoff run, what are the Bucks doing? What are the Bulls doing?
You know what it's
when
like?
Your team's not in it, it's real hard to kind of really hone in and be a fan of that particular sport.
You know what it's like, and you make this comparison all the time. It's like being a bettor. It's like being a gambler. It's like a person that bets on games or puts a little bit of money down. It adds to the value of the game, or it brings you into the game. You're not watching the game. It could be who knows who versus who state, but you put a couple dollars on it, and now it's like, okay, is he going to get the rebound? Is he going to get to the points? It's the same with a team. If your team is good, now exactly like you said, you're paying attention. You're looking at the rest of the conference, the rest of the division, where these guys are, where they're stacking up. Oh, we won today, they lost. We're moving up. It's the same exact thing as betting, man. It keeps you involved the whole season.
I just watched that logo, Detroit Piston logo, that old logo. When I was a kid, that was the logo. They have not changed it. I love it. I love being there. Mason does a great job still. The entertainment is second to none for Little Caesars Arena. The Pistons do a phenomenal job. The dancers were great. Remember the Laker dancers that we just were watching there, Bray?
Paul Abdul?
Yeah, I'm telling you, these girls are just as good. And they had wheelchair basketball at halftime.
How great is that?
I was locked in. These guys, 3-on-3 in wheelchairs. My mouth was wide open. I can't believe what these guys do. They get knocked over, and the way they push themselves up just with their arms, it was a great time last night. I'm glad I got to go.
I played in one of those. My bad.
No, that's all right.
I played in one of those charity games, celebrity games, where you sit in the wheelchairs and you play wheelchair basketball. I played it in New York. And, we got going out there, and it was hard and it was tough, and they were kicking our ass, and they were having a lot of fun with it. And we were, shy on the jokes. And I just remember, and this goes back to how sensitive everybody is in the world. Sometimes the people that you think you should be sensitive for, they're mad that you are that sensitive. We were talking, there was a couple guys that played in the game. Vernon Golston was on that. Vernon Golston was on the team as well. We'll talk about him. Detroit cast on, went to Ohio State, played for the Jets. But they were like, man, where's the jokes? Why y'all not talking stuff? And then they started giving us some examples. I won't say it on the air, but they were giving us examples of making fun of themselves. They were self-deprecating. So then once we start cracking jokes like, get out of here, you blah, 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 they really start to have a good time. So sometimes I believe we are too sensitive in the world. Once you get the okay, go for it.
One guy had no legs. And he was unbelievable. You got the arms on these guys. It's amazing. I was more impressed with that than watching the Pistons and Mavericks.
And when you're around guys like that, they're not complaining.
No way.
So you almost look at yourself in the mirror. You're like,
shut up.
What am I?
We got nothing.
What are we talking about?
Absolutely.
What do you mean? Guys, tonight, big night. Ted Lindsay Foundation supporting autism. I'll be there in Troy at the San Marino.
What a great guy.
San Marino.
Yeah.
Ted Lindsay passed away in 2019. One of his things was he wanted to make sure that this foundation kept going. Friend of his son got diagnosed with autism. Ted's like, what can I do? What can I do? So he started this foundation, raising millions of dollars and helping children and families all over the state of Michigan that benefit from this. So if you're out and about tonight, you do not need to pre-order tickets. If you're out and about tonight, head on into the San Marino. I think it's $150. It's a wine tasting. It's great. We'll be out there. I'll be out there. Say hello. I believe Sean Belegian will be there.
Oh, great.
I think Kenny Daniels will be there. It'll be a good time for sure. Opening day tomorrow. We have to make a decision as a show. Okay. Braylon, we have to make a decision as a show tomorrow on how we're going to approach the show tomorrow. We will be live at the Brass Rail from 2 to 4. That'll be our show right across from Comerica Park there. And we have to make the decision whether or not we are going to drink on the air get sauced up, and just have a good old-fashioned time. So we want the people to let us know.
Let us know.
This is not traditional radio here, if you will, here at Woodward Sports Network. We can pretty much do whatever we want.
Yes, we can.
Nobody's going to kick us off the air.
Not at all.
We're not going to be taken down by the FCC.
Yeah, not at all.
So should we or shouldn't we drink on the air tomorrow and just have a good old-fashioned time?
I don't care what the poll results say. It's opening day. I haven't been down there in a very long time. I think we can find a way in which to do it in moderation, and also
everything in moderation.
And also, we will be drinking responsibly. So, hey, you know what? I'm all for it. I can't wait. I know Adam Baydoun, he and Matty Miller have talked about 4 a.m. I'm not getting down like that, but I'm down for the team, and I know Woodward Sports stick, and the guys going to have a good time, so why shouldn't I?
Yep, we'll knock off some gypsy vodka down there, and Maz, you might have to drive us all home.
You know, I always do. I'll have some pizza.
But
there we go.
We can have some serious fun tomorrow at the Brass Rail. We invite everybody.
Yes, come on now.
Downtown tomorrow. Woodward Sports is going to be all over the place. The Morning Wood show is going to be at the Brass Rail. Big D Energy at the Music Hall. We'll be at the Brass Rail. We are going to have tons of fun tomorrow.
Heavyweights on the street.
Heavyweights on the street. The game is going to happen. The game is going to go from 1 to probably 4:30. We are on the air right in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
So
we'll catch the let out. Like,
I mean,
we finished the let out. Oh man.
You just
maybe people are sick and tired of sitting outside freezing their ass off while they're soaked.
So
come to the Brass Rail and see us.
Watch the game. Watch us.
Watch it with us.
We'll entertain the hell out of you tomorrow. Something's telling me.
We'll put you on the air.
Absolutely.
You show up, I'll give you a mic.
I tell you what, everybody wants a peek behind that curtain. You give us some of that gypsy vodka for 2 hours, you get a damn good look.
There you go. On the show today, speaking of on the air, Dave Birkett, Lions beat writer, Detroit Free Press, going to join us 2:24. We'll get the latest. Kayvon Thibodeau in town, working out with the Lions, interviewing with the Lions. Not sure if he did any on-field workout or anything like that. Tony Paul is talking Tigers, talking baseball at the top of hour number 2 at 3 o'clock. So we've got a good show for you today. Great guest lineup today.
And Beer Man at the bottom of the 3:30 hour.
Beer Man.
Over-unders.
How could I forget Beer Man? Are you kidding
NBA.
me? Let's go.
Play of the night.
Let's get it
Baseball.
But first, Braylon is insistent that he knows who is going to be quarterbacking the Detroit Lions.
He knows.
In week 1. And let me tell you, there was a sports book today that has odds on it, and he might not be that wrong.
Oh, no, he knows.
And it ain't Malik Willis, and it ain't Jared Goff. We'll tell you who it is next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Believe me, he knows.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Detroit Sports by Detroiters and for Detroiters. This is Detroit Sports Network. This is Woodward Sports.
Hey, everybody, another beautiful day in the D for a tan. Not. Get the Chili Peppers tanning, get your vitamin D, and get your skin looking so sweet. Just like Braylon. Chili Peppers tanning, looking
Real
like the
good.
cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized room. And, of course, trained.
Sanitation?
No. Trained and certified tanning professionals, Ryan. Join the Pepper Club. They'll beat all competitors by $5. Don't forget, pick it up. Australian Gold, designer skin, Cal Tan, Swedish beauty lotions. That's Sam's favorite, by the way. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. It is the hottest deals in town, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters. 26 locations, more on the way. One right down the street here on Woodward. Check them out at ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
Right back here, bottom line, Woodward Sports Network. I'm Ryan Ermanni. Braylon Edwards is here. Lots of interviews taking place this week and next for the Detroit Lions. Braylon, before we get into it, what are some of the things that are being discussed? Kayvon Thibodeau in town this week, and we'll talk to Dave Birkett about that. But when you go to a team, to a facility, and meet them, What is happening there behind the scenes?
Yeah, so if you're Kayvon Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson or you're Derek Stingley Jr., who we'll get into, had a hell of a pro day yesterday, or Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame, who we've talked a little bit too much about, you want to go in. The first thing they're trying to gauge is your attitude. They're trying to gauge, because not everybody can be number one. Not everybody can be number two. What's your attitude? What's your attitude when they talk to you and they break film down and they say, hey, you know what? Let's say Kayvon. Hey, Kayvon, you know, you're extremely well on this release, but you know what? You kind of disappeared the following two series. Can you explain that? What is your attitude when you get constructive criticism, when a coach talks to you and breaks you down and says, you know what, you're really good, but you could be better, or you're not as good as you think you are? What's your attitude? How do you come back from that? What is the conversation behind that? Also, they want to know your knowledge. Like when they put you up there on that wax board, when they put you up there on the board, what do you know about your position? What do you know about the whole of the defense if you're Kayvon Thibodeau? Because a lot of times guys just know what they do. They go to certain colleges, certain institutions, and they're not necessarily taught how to study route concepts. I actually took it back to the film wide receiver. They're not taught how to study the concept of plays. What are we looking for as a concept? The whole defense. What is everybody doing? I got to know what this person is doing so that I can help myself actually become a better player. Do I just know what I do? From a quarterback standpoint, how good are you on the board? How good are you with your adjustments? How good are you with the defense? Knowing, you know what, this defensive coordinator has been here for such amount of years. This is what his tendencies are. This is what his identity is. So they put you on the board, and they go through those processes. Also, your presence. When a guy walks into a room, you can feel something, or you don't feel anything. Like when a guy walks in, you immediately feel it. What is that presence like when Kayvon Thibodeau walks in the door? What is it different to when Trayvon Walker walks into the door? What's that presence like? What is the feeling like when you see Aiden Hutchinson come in there with the stature and the pedigree that he has, coming from his father and then Michigan lineage and legacy? What is the presence in there? Also, you don't get a lot of chance at the combine to do one-on-one with multiple coaches. Like at the combine, what you get a chance to do, I told you about those impromptu meetings. Not everybody goes to those. Not everybody's able to get plucked during those. When you meet with a team, you meet with the whole team. You're sitting down there talking to the GM, Brad Holmes. You're talking with Dan Campbell. You're talking with the defensive coordinator, talking with your specific position. As you're sitting there talking to these guys, they're kind of half crescent moon around you, and they're interviewing, they're talking to kind of half theater type setting, and then they put you on the board. Now you get a chance, if I'm a wide receiver, I can go in there, I can talk to Brad Holmes individually. I can talk to Sheila Forham individually. I can talk to Dan Campbell individually. I can talk to wide receivers coach, Antoine Randall individually. I can talk to the offensive skill coach, the offensive position coach, the offensive coordinator, I stuttered a little bit there. But you get to talk to everybody individually, and they all can pick your mind. That way when they come back together, they can come back and they have a conversation. What did you see? What did you get from him? Blah, blah, blah. And then the last thing is, what do you like?
Can you say to them, have you ever said to a team, I want you to draft me, I want to play here? This is where I want to play. Yeah,
I did. There's two teams I told that to. When I was coming out, I told it to the Chicago Bears, and I told it to the San Francisco 49ers.
Damn.
San Francisco 49ers, I told them I want them to draft me for two reasons. One, because they had the number one pick. And going number one, you say whatever you want to say about it, it is the number one pick.
Yeah.
It will always be the number one pick. You can never take that away from anybody. Jamarcus Russell, you can call him what you want to call him, but you know what you're always going to call him?
But number one pick.
The number one pick always will be that. So that was one. And then I was a 49ers fan growing up. I told you guys that. I love Jerry Rice. Steve Young was my guy. I love Montana, but the lefty from BYU was my guy.
Loved him too.
Terrell Owens eventually. And then the other team is I told the Bears. I said I wanted to go to the Bears. They were fourth pick overall. Some about the Bears, some about Soldier Field, and then being in the same division as the Detroit Lions, where I'm from, born and raised in Detroit. I said, hey, twice a year, 4-hour drive, it was, and I love the second city.
Who'd they take, by the way? You remember?
They took Cedric Benson.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Cedric Benson.
Damn, I can't believe
it. If you were there, what you think you go there?
No, 100%. I talked to their wide receivers coach a lot. He actually ended up coming here, Fred Graves. Knew him well. He's just a good guy. I knew that Lovey and my father knew each other. So that was one other thing that I had going for me is my dad, such a great guy. And you don't know how much that means until later on in life. My dad has a lot of good relationships with people.
He does.
So based off of that in that draft, Matt Millen already loved me before he talked to me because he loves my dad.
Sure.
Lovey Smith, and the list goes on, the guys that had respect for my father. So that's another little thing that goes a long way, kind of like with Andrew Luck and his father.
I wonder if Sauce Gardner or Drake London, if they get a chance to talk to them, and they will talk to Sauce this week, because Sauce is a Detroiter.
Yep.
Hey, man, I want to play at home. I could do this for you.
Trust me, I guarantee you he'll say that because he wants to go number 2.
Yeah.
You know?
You think that's the only reason?
Well, no, but
Because
I
number
think,
2 to number 6,
but look
you're
at
still
what,
getting the same
look
money.
at what Braylon said. You know, I mean, number 1 is number 1.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not going to go number 1, and chances are Sauce Gardner's not going to go number 1, but maybe he could go number 2. So you're trying to maximize your money too.
Drake London.
If you could do that in the house, if you could do that in your own backyard, you certainly do that. $2 Ant on YouTube chat says, this show is my favorite. We certainly appreciate that.
We do.
Ernest says, listening to the bottom line while I'm lying on the sand at Myrtle Beach. Love it.
Check you out.
Keep me posted on Tiger. We will certainly do that.
He looks good at his fuchsia right now.
Throughout the show. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. We'd certainly appreciate that. Dave Birkett coming up momentarily. Before we get to Dave, though, Braylon, you had tweeted out something today that I have to attack. Not attack, but really lift up because I think you're at the forefront here. Just kind of give us a sense of what you're working through in terms of quarterbacks for the Detroit Lions.
What I'm thinking about the Detroit Lions, here we go. Mark my words, if the Lions acquire me Willis in the first round, I actually meant to say if they don't acquire Malik Willis in the first round, then they will have to deal with the Browns for Baker Mayfield by the end of the draft, day 2. That will consist of the Browns paying a portion of his $18.8 million, $8 million a year 5 cap number. I might should have retweeted that and tweeted out a little bit better. But basically what I was saying in a snapshot is Baker came here right after everything got quiet. Right before things got quiet, he came to Detroit. He was talking to Matt Dorsey, or vice versa. Dorsey, GM, formerly of Cleveland. They were talking, and then everything got quiet. Now, the reason things got quiet is because the Cleveland Browns couldn't move Baker Mayfield. Nobody was willing to give a pick. They knew it was getting close to draft time. So you know what? Hey, everybody forgot about Baker Mayfield. What's going to happen with Baker Mayfield? I'm looking at it from this perspective. Baker Mayfield still has some skill in him. Still young, has a shoulder that he repaired this year. He's feeling good.
Former number 1 pick.
Former number 1 recently.
Yeah.
Can't ever take it away from him.
Nope.
2 years ago, he had a chance to actually go to the AFC Championship game. Like 2 years ago, he was in a position. He had his team in a chance to go to the AFC Championship
Just like
game.
Mark Sanchez.
Lost by 4 or 5 points at Kansas City.
4 or 5, which is very respectable, at Kansas City. You look at that, you look at the Lions. The Lions don't believe in Jared Goff. They respect Jared Goff a lot. They think he can be good enough to help through the rebuild. But Baker Mayfield has that extra. If you put them side by side, I'm taking Baker Mayfield. I just didn't want to necessarily deal with the on and off the field things, the antics that is Baker Mayfield. I think Ryan loves this concept of that prove-it contract. This will be a one-year prove-it type deal. You give yourself to Detroit Lions, who has some cap space next year. You have not only cap space, you have the draft capital that you want for next year. They have more draft capital. So, hey, you know what? Why not give Baker Mayfield a chance? A guy that's done it already, a guy that's done it recently, why not give him a chance? And you split with the Browns. Hey, you pay half, we pay half, we take them off your hands. If it doesn't work, you can wash your hands. It's not a bad move.
So, one of the sponsors here at Woodward Sports, MyBookie, you hear Maz read about it all the time. We get these emails to us from their marketing department, and one of the emails that I got today was, where does Baker Mayfield end up week 1 of the 2022 season? Top 3 destinations, and this is something you can bet on. And look, whether you want to bet on it or not, that's up to you, but what I'm saying is the odds in Vegas for Baker Mayfield to the Lions: number 1, the Seattle Seahawks; number 2, the Carolina Panthers; number 3, the Detroit Lions at plus 350, which is not some crazy number either. It is not out of the realm of possibility. I don't know how likely it is. Maybe it's not likely, but I don't think the book has been closed on a Baker Mayfield to Detroit situation. It's very unique. It's very.
How many weeks ago did we bring it up and laugh?
6 weeks ago we did.
We brought it up.
Yeah. I will say, Braylon, too, regardless how you feel about Baker Mayfield, not you, just you personally, like you in general, when somebody is humbled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to believe that you find some sort of personal growth, some sort of
another par for Tiger.
learning moment in your life that you get better, that you improve upon some of the weaknesses you may have. You mature a little bit more when you're humbled in your life. And I think this is a very humbling moment for Baker Mayfield. And I don't know if he'll be a good quarterback in the NFL, but I don't think the book has been written on Baker Mayfield that he's just some disaster
He's
either.
got skills still.
Yeah.
A situation like this hurts. Situation hurts. It hurts when you go from I'm the man, I can call my own shots. Because just think about it from this standpoint. 365 days ago, Baker Mayfield could call his own shots. He could call his own shot with the Cleveland Browns. He could say, hey, I want this guy. I don't want that guy. I'm the man for this team. You know what? I am the man. I'm the Progressive Insurance man. Like, Baker Mayfield was all of that 365 days ago. And now, nobody wants to pick his fifth year. Nobody wants to pick his fifth-year option up. Nobody wants to trade a draft pick for him. Nobody wants to get him right now. Moving into the draft, that's what it seems like. That's what he's feeling. That'll humble you. That'll change you.
Tiger Woods, par on number 11. He is even through 11, 3 shots back of the lead. 2 lead the way at -3. So we'll keep you updated on Tiger throughout the day. Dave Birkett going to join us next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
At Wingsnob, staying humble's not our forte. We just have better wings. We're back at it again with our crispy golden brown fries and our famous boneless wings. Juicy, tender, hormone-free chicken. Your favorite signature sauces with no bone. Just when you thought Wingsnob couldn't get any better. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wingsnob. We just have better wings.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Citron World is the aspirational lifestyle brand with a line of sparkling energy drinks, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. They are also partners with the Detroit Pistons and exclusively sold to LCA because they are also partners with the Red Wings. If you are here for the memories like they are, you're going to have a great time. That revitalizer shot, the turmeric and pineapple, gets me going every morning. And man, that cranberry energy drink, it is something real. 2 o'clock comes, got to have one of those, got to be ready to give you the bottom line. The best way I know how. Citron is more than just a beverage, it's a lifestyle. Drink it, live it with Citron.
Tiger Woods probably drinks that too. He's got the mock turtleneck on today. He's looking great.
Good.
Back on the green again, and he probably likes Big Boy as well. Seafood Festival is back at Big Boy, including the Friday night seafood buffet, which goes till April the 24th. Catch it while you can. Fish and chips, fish fry, popcorn shrimp, and pike perch. The new fish sandwich available at participating locations. Get yourself to Big Boy.
Just watching Tiger. It's mesmerizing to watch the guy.
He's a miracle.
It's incredible. So we'll keep you updated on him on the green on number 12, the par 3. Even through 11. Let's bring him in. The great Dave Birkett, Lions beat writer, Detroit Free Press, one of the best in the business. Kind enough to give us a couple of minutes here. Dave, how you doing, my friend?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing great, buddy. Let me ask you quickly, because Braylon's been bringing this up about Baker Mayfield.
Right, man. I'm telling you.
Do you think, and you know, this Vegas, my bookie, who's a sponsor on our show, on our network, sent the top 3 teams that Baker Mayfield will land. It's the Seahawks number 1, the Carolina Panthers number 2, and the Lions at plus 350 number 3. Do you think that's crazy talk, or is that even a remote possibility that Baker Mayfield to the Lions is still an open door?
Well, I wouldn't rule anything out, I guess, with the Lions in the quarterback position, but I don't think it's any sort of priority for them. I don't think it's going to happen, right now. I mean, could it happen down the road? Sure, I guess. But look, the natural tie obviously is John Dorsey. He was the Browns GM when the Browns took Baker Mayfield number 1. We had a little beat writer session with Dan Campbell today and asked him a lot about the quarterback position. And I think the Lions are pretty comfortable with Jared Goff as their quarterback. Wouldn't rule out the Malik Willis stuff still, but they're pretty comfortable with Jared Goff at quarterback, probably more than you and me and some of the other pundits out here who think that they should make a move for Baker or Malik Willis or some of these other guys.
Yeah, I just, for the most part, I know it's a sketchy thing to come up with, but I just think there's something there. It got really quiet after the conversation was had with John Dorsey and Baker Mayfield, and I think the draft time is where you start to see a lot of those funny things happening. Speaking of quarterbacks, Detroit, a lot of mock drafts have Detroit now drafting Desmond Ridder. I've seen as many as 5 mock drafts that have him be the quarterback to go in the first round to the Detroit Lions. What do you think about that? I am not a fan of it. Tell me what you think over there, DB.
Yeah, late round one. I guess you're talking about. I've definitely seen that. The other thing I forgot to mention with the Baker thing is the contract, right? I don't know that the Lions would want to take on that kind of money. But look, the Ridder thing, it's sort of the same thing. I think where the Lions are right now is, again, they're comfortable with Jared Goff at quarterback. If you gave him some truth serum, they'd probably admit that he's not their long-term answer, right? That they're always going to have their eye looking for the next great thing. But, Dan Campbell did say today, and we'll have a story up on Freak.com here shortly, just that he doesn't think you need an elite quarterback to win, right, in the NFL. Like, you don't have to have that Patrick Mahomes type, that you can have sustainable success without that. And so, maybe a guy like Ridder does fit into that, who does a lot of things well and would come cheap. But my sense on the Lions still is that they want to build out this roster. They want to do what they can to put the entire supporting cast in place. And then when the time is right, they find their quarterback, whoever that is, whether it's, a high pick in the draft, whether it's somebody they trade for, or maybe it's somebody like Goff who just, continues to develop and become the elite guy that teams thought they were getting when he was the number 1 pick.
Talking to Dave Birkett on Twitter, at Dave Birkett, Lions beat writer, Detroit Free Press. Dave, going back to something that you wrote a couple of days ago, maybe it was the end of last week, actually, with Todd McShay, where McShay says this is a really crappy year to have the number 2 pick because you're just not going to get the haul for that pick. The chances that the Lions make that pick at 2 is what, north of 90%, do you say?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, probably north of 95. I don't know. I mean, maybe somebody does fall in love with Malik Willis and want to come up. And right, I think a lot of people are still trying to figure out exactly what the Saints are thinking. Is that, did they make that deal for 2-1 so they can go up, or do they really like their team enough that they think 2 rookies can help them? Maybe there's enough noise about Malik Willis that someone will want to come up high enough that the Lions have an opportunity to trade down. But I don't, my sense is that, he just is not quite generating enough buzz, enough people believe in him to be that type of prospect that someone will want to come up at number 2. And I don't know that there's, that any of those other prospects does that as well. And, if Hutchinson is there, I still think the Lions take him. And so I think there's a really good chance that the Lions are drafting at number 2 this year. Dave
Birkett joins us, Free Press Lions beat writer, our good buddy here. The hot name again is Kayvon Thibodeau, right? What's your take on him? The Lions. I saw your quotes on Twitter. Tell us more about Kayvon Thibodeau at 2. Dave?
Sorry about that there, guys.
That's
Sorry about
right.
that. Cut out there for a second.
It's okay. Did you hear what I said about Thibodeau? That's all.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's going to be a lot of noise about Thibodeau, and it's certainly increased here in recent weeks. And I think the Lions are doing the right thing by, sending all these guys to pro day and doing as much homework as they can on him because, he is one of the top prospects in this draft. And to me, it seems like the Lions are, they're trying to get comfortable with the idea of taking him. They're making sure that every box is checked, that he is going to fit in the locker room, that he is going to be receptive to coaching, that, all these knocks on him that are out there. And it's not just media people that are saying this. I mean, these are the legit concerns that ultimately, they have these questions answered to feel comfortable both in taking him and in passing on him in case, he becomes what, a lot of people think he can become. And that's a really good pass rusher in the NFL. So, I still sort of have my doubts on that a little bit. I mean, I think, if you have to do this much work on a prospect, you're trying to convince yourself of something that's there. I go back to the Bob Quinn line on Tease Tabor that, he studied him as much as any prospect ever, and he came away thinking he was the right guy. Well, maybe if you need that much study, that should tell you something right there. But there's no doubt that Kayvon Thibodeau is a really good player. And, if he is true to his word, he did say at the Combine, football is number one for him. And that's ultimately what the Lions are trying to discern. If football is number one, if he really loves ball, they can live with some of the personality stuff. That's what Dan Campbell said today. And so I think ultimately that's what they're trying to do.
Well, Bob Quinn was a bad student, as we know, so we're gonna pass on that one. But you got some other names that are supposedly the Lions are going to be visiting with: Hutchinson, Hill, Sauce Gardner, the Detroiter. Yep. Tell me a bit about those guys, Dave.
Yeah, look, next week is their local day. Braylon probably did this when he was coming out, right? Where it's the everyone who's sort of in the Metro Detroit area, and that's expanded now to include University of Michigan players. They come in for a day, and they're not working out or anything. The top guys aren't, at least. They just come in and meet the coaches, spend some time with them. Yeah, and so that's essentially what's going on next week. Monday, I believe it is, and Hutchinson, who obviously is in line to be potentially the number one pick in the draft or number two, he will be there. Sauce Gardner's the top cornerback in the draft. He's from Detroit. He's going to be there. Dax Hill obviously is a guy who could be in the mix at 32 if he makes it there for the Lions. So, again, Lions are, they're doing everything in their power to investigate all of these guys and get comfortable with these guys. And, I will say, Brad Holmes went to Michigan Pro Day. The Lions have talked to Hutchinson already. So I think if he's there at number two, I don't think there's much of a choice that they have to make. I still think he's the guy if he's there for the Lions at number two.
Hey, Dave Birkett, I want to go back to that, something you just said, and ask you, do you think now with teams doing all of this extra film study, all this extra interviewing, all this extra going back and watching the tape over and over again, do you think part of that is because this is one of those first-round drafts where everybody has some questions? There's no guaranteed picks. There's no guaranteed prospects that you pick, and it's like, this is the guy. Do you think it's because of that? And also, or do you just think because now everybody has a mock draft, everybody has the internet, everybody has something to say, everybody has Twitter, so sometimes if you're a GM, not necessarily a good one, you can get talked out of having a pick by just reading something other people say. How much of it is intangibles of that?
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't think, Brad Holmes, or like you said, most GMs, they're aware of it, right? But I think they're able to block out some of that noise and just sort of take it for what it is. I mean, look, the fact with some of those mocks is that, there is a kernel of truth to that, right? I mean, that's coming from, guys in my position, people in my position who are talking to some of these decision makers
right.
and have, somewhat informed opinions, but not nearly on the level of any of these NFL guys.
And that was no disrespect to you, by the way, Dave. Just wanted to let you know that.
No, it's 100%. Like I've always said, right? I watch film. I watch the film of every game, but I don't know 1/100th of the guys that are really watching the film. No, so that's why I like to lean on them for input when it comes to some of these things. But ultimately, I think what it comes down to is that the first thing that you said is that this is a draft where the top, let's say, 8 or so players are one and the same in a lot of ways. And, Aiden Hutchinson may be number one, but I don't know that anyone thinks of Aiden Hutchinson as, being a 15-sack guy in the NFL, and Kayvon Thibodeau may be number two, but it's the same thing. And so if there's not a big difference between the guy that you're going to take or could take at number two, who's number two on your board, well, and you have some questions about him and not off the field areas necessarily, but how his personality fits with the culture you're trying to build, it's okay to go down to number three. That there's not a big enough difference between those guys to warrant you taking the risk that comes with that guy that has those questions. So that's what the Lions and all these teams at the top of the draft right now are trying to figure out.
I still say grab Malik.
Yeah, I think.
Hey, Maz, look, I'm starting to come around on that a little bit. I don't know that the Lions will. I wouldn't mock him to the Lions if I was doing a mock today. I'm still not off my Jermaine Johnson thing, by the way. But look, I think there's a lot of. I mean, Malik Willis has special traits, and I'm a believer that if you have that special quarterback, and if you believe you can develop them, maybe you take him. And so I'm starting to come around a little bit on Malik, even though I still wouldn't mock him.
I don't want to compare. I don't want to compare Malik Willis to Matthew Stafford. But remember when the Lions had Dante Culpepper and everybody was, oh, you got to take Aaron Curry here. You got to take Aaron Curry here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, like there is no player in this draft, in my opinion, that can change your franchise the way Malik Willis has the potential to do.
And the key? Who loves him?
Sometimes you got to take that gamble.
The Steelers love him, Dave. We want what the Steelers want.
Listen, Ryan, I think you're right that there's no player that can change your franchise like that if he reaches his potential.
Correct.
The question again is,
if
how likely is he to reach that potential? And the flip side, and it's easy for me to say this, and I have the last couple of years talking about quarterbacks. My job doesn't depend on drafting that quarterback and him developing in 3 years, where Brad Holmes' job does. And so if he doesn't become that guy, then you set back this rebuild. And so I think that's what you have to wrestle with at the top of the draft. But I'll tell you guys this too from our beat writer session today, and this will be in the story too. I mean, I asked Dan, just point blank, like, what are you looking for in your number 2 pick? What do you need out of your number 2 pick? And one of the first things he said was, a day one starter. And so that doesn't, that's not a quarterback right for the Lions.
That is
Malik Willis or any quarterback is not going to start week 1.
Amen to that. Dave, we can't thank you enough for the time, man. Hey,
Thanks,
follow Dave on Twitter at Dave Birkett. Read him on Freep.com. Spend $1 too. You get the Freep for $1 for 6 months. So go there right now, Freep.com, and subscribe. Be a subscriber. So much great content.
I wish I still had it
on that
delivered
website.
to my front door.
You and me both. You can get it at the gas station, though. You can get it at the gas station. Pick up a paper near you. Subscribe to the Freep. Read Dave on Freep.com. We got to get Dave
some Woodward sports gear.
Amen to that.
What size you want, Dave?
I'll wear it. Hey, next time I'll be, where's Waldo, whatever my location is, I'll be wearing it.
Amen to that.
See, this is another one. See, this is even better because now I'm trying to guess where you are.
Let Dave go. He's given us enough of his time.
He's got to get his kicks.
Thanks, Dave. We appreciate you, my man.
See you, man.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. Come right back. React to. Look, I mean, I'm telling you guys.
I want to respond to something.
I know we got a couple of things to go in there, and that Willis pick is intriguing.
He's picking up the steam. You can tell he wants to mock him. He wants to mock him. He does.
I don't like what you said about Dan Campbell. I want you to talk about that. Dan
That's what I want to pick up on.
That's
Ermanni
a killer for me.
That is a killer. Ermanni
Here we go.
Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network.
Start him then. I don't give a damn.
Start him. Sit him. Start him.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, gang! I want to tell you about Guardian Alarm. Yep, they sure do get it. Guardian Alarm, you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, tells the bad guys one thing. What's it say?
Stay out.
Stay out. That's right. A good defense for your home or your business. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe. 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm, convenient features that let you control your lights, your temperatures, detect smoke, carbon monoxide, even gonna let you lock and unlock your doors. All you have to do is call that number above my head. 1-800
Stay out.
Stay out. That number again, 1-800 Stay Out.
Get out of here.
Your local security experts.
Hey, take it that way.
2 points of reference, and we just talked to Dave Birkett. Great info. 2 things that he said about Dan Campbell. Braylon, I want to let you pick up on that first one because we both noticed it.
Yeah, I don't want to paraphrase. I mean, I don't want to get the quote wrong, so I'll paraphrase a little bit. Basically, he said
we're paraphrasing here.
You basically don't need a good quarterback to win.
Or you don't need an elite.
You don't need an
quarterback.
Okay, that's what I don't want to mess up. You don't need an elite quarterback to win.
A Patrick Mahomes type.
You don't. You don't. Because outside of the 49ers and Jimmy Garoppolo, which is very comparable to what Detroit is trying to build, it seems, you do. You do. Because Joe Burrow is an elite quarterback. Because Patrick Mahomes is an elite quarterback. Because Aaron Rodgers is an elite quarterback. All these quarterbacks that are winning at this level are Josh Allen. is an elite quarterback. So I don't get what you mean. If you're talking about winning the Super Bowl, win games, then maybe that's something different. Maybe I misunderstood you, but I thought the point was to put the best product out there to win as many games as you could so that you could get to the playoffs, so that you can eventually get to the Super Bowl, so that you can eventually host the Vince Lombardi Trophy up.
Can I give you the perfect example?
Is the 49ers?
No, of a team that has built up every aspect of their team and has a good quarterback.
The Colts?
The Tennessee Titans. And they can't get out of the conference. They can't. Number one conference team, yes, they're winning a bunch of games, but when it comes playoff time, you see Ryan Tannehill crap his pants.
This is because what happens with those is the defense can play well all year. And I love Landry on that defense. I love Simmons on that defense. Who doesn't love Derrick Henry? Who doesn't love A.J. Brown when he plays? Who doesn't love those guys? But what happens is that defense is going to have a moment, much like the Buffalo Bills did, and they allowed the Kansas City Chiefs to get in field goal range in 13 seconds. Because that running back is going to have a moment where he can't get you that first down, much like he did in the Monday night game where Buffalo should have beat the Titans. Much like that game. But you know what you have in that moment to take you over that hump? That's where the elite quarterbacks come in.
And Maz, who is the guy that tweeted out that the Kansas City-Buffalo playoff game.
I think it was Pelissero.
Was it Tom Pelissero?
Yeah, Tom Pelissero.
Tom Pelissero tweeted out.
He said that changed everybody's opinion.
That's why you see teams going nuts for a quarterback.
Correct.
Every single team is trying to find that quarterback that can compete in a game like the one we saw Buffalo and Kansas City play in the playoffs. Do you have a quarterback? Every general manager and every coach is asking themselves the question, in a game like this, in the playoffs like this, can we compete in that game with the quarterback we have? And I don't want to say that's a hard no with Jared Goff because he did get to the Super Bowl.
We compete.
I don't think he compete.
Once again, he got them to the Super Bowl, and it goes back to the conversation where having a good quarterback can get you there. Yeah, Jared Goff was good enough to get him there. They had Aaron Donald, was younger, but he still was Aaron Donald. Had a lot of guys on the team, Brandon Cooks, et cetera, et cetera. But see, Jared Goff wasn't elite, so they could not get over that hump. That brings me to another point. What is all this Desmond Ridder at number 32?
Yeah,
if you're talking about elite quarterbacks, if you're talking about a good quarterback, why are you drafting a guy at number 32 just so you have a fifth-year option, and that's Desmond Ridder? Desmond Ridder is a poor man's Marcus Mariota. He doesn't do anything special in college. If you go to Cincinnati, your stats should be ridiculous. He was a 3-year star at Cincinnati. They ran that division. I'm looking for 4,000, 4,200. I'm looking for 40 touchdowns, 38 touchdowns. I'm not looking for 3,330 like that. And then you're inaccurate. Get out of here with this Desmond Ridder stuff. I'm not going to get a poor man's Marcus Mariota, who, by the way, is looking for a job this year and just got one, but that's not the move you make.
Hey, quick break here. I got a special guest on the line. Secret for you guys.
Oh.
I got a special secret for you guys.
Dan Campbell?
I'm not going to tell you.
Got
to go to the break.
Sports Network, the bottom line.
30 seconds.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Right back here, Woodward Sports Network on a Thursday in the Motor City. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey.
Ready for your special guest?
Let's do it.
All right, special guest. Say who you are, special guest.
If they're on.
Oh, yes.
Larry Foot. The Foot Doctor.
Larry Larry, how you doing, man?
You guys are having a great time over there. I can hear.
Hey, man. It's always
Larry,
fun to come work with
congratulations to you, my friend.
Congrats.
Defensive coordinator.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
You know, we were hoping you were going to take the defensive coordinator job at Michigan. Maybe.
Hey, Foot, let me ask you this, because obviously someone has known you for a long time, man. When you were playing at the Cubs, to Pershing, to Michigan, to the Steelers, to the Cardinals, et cetera, did you ever think about that you would get back into the game, and then that you would get back into the game at this high of a level, being the defensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the team that won Super Bowl 2 years ago?
Well, when I was playing, definitely towards the end, the coaches I had in Pittsburgh, they were trying to push me into the coaching ranks, and I was just saying no. Not going to do it too much time. So I always vision going back to the Persian and coaching. And when I retired in 2014, BA looked at me and said, no, you're not going home. You're about to coach. You're about to be the linebacker coach. And I knew that normally you got to start in, at the bottom as far as, doing a lot of QC, computer stuff, a lot of analyst work. And I wasn't going to do that with all that time. And he said, no, you're going to be the linebacker coach. You're going to have your own room. And that kind of, I said, sure, okay. He kind of like, he's strong on me. And I'm calling your wife. He's going back to Detroit. He's staying right here in AZ. And I fell in love with the weather, of course. And the kids loved it. So I started right there in 2015.
Talking to Larry
Good
Foote,
stuff, man.
new defensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Bucs. So he trades the Arizona weather to start his coaching career and takes the Tampa Bay weather.
He deserved it for being in Pittsburgh. He deserves some sunshine.
Pittsburgh
now.
and Detroit. He deserves a little warm
Detroit,
weather.
that buys you like 50 years of good weather.
Right.
Hey, I'm getting picky. I'm down here complaining because the humidity out in Arizona, we got the dry heat. You didn't have to worry about all the the bugs and stuff. But I definitely take the sunshine.
Larry, what an off season it has been for the Tampa Bay Bucs, right? I mean, Tom Brady retires, Tom Brady comes back. Bruce Arians goes into the front office, takes another role
Went
in
to
the
the combine,
organization.
and then came back and went to the front
it's
office.
just kind of been a bit of a whirlwind off season for the Bucs organization. Just how has it all played out from your perspective?
Well, when Brady retired, all the coaches, we got back in the office, we all taking bets. No, he's coming back. He's not. I always believe, those true competitors like Brady, those guys are not going out on top. I don't care how old they are, they're going to go out when, they can't do it anymore. So I always assumed, and I was taking bets that he was going to come back. Him being a smart guy, he knew right when free agency starts, you better make your decision so we can sign some of these guys back and bring other guys in. So everybody around the building, around the city, and, just in that Little League game, everybody was geeked up when we made that decision. And then it popped up when we actually had topped off. And it started lighting up on people's phones. And all of a sudden, everybody started cheering. It was sweet. Everybody started talking about it. So the city of Tampa, we were fired up. And with BA, that was a total surprise. Like, that came out of nowhere. I got the call from Bowles and told me what was going on. He was going to elevate me to the, co-defensive coordinator, and I was just geeked up. And here we are right now.
Foot, that was the fun thing to talk about. Let's get into the thing that maybe not so fun to talk about. 2 years ago, that Super Bowl run that you guys had when you won the Super Bowl, that defense played amazing, played lights out. It was one of the best defensive runs I think that I've ever witnessed in my 39 years. With that being said, maybe due to injury last year, maybe due to some other factors, it wasn't quite the same during the season last year in the playoffs. What is the mission this year for the defense, getting it back on track to what you guys were in that Super Bowl 2 years ago?
39, man, Brady, you make me feel old. That's 39.
39. I'm holding on to that 30 so hard, man. I got every hand on that 30 trying to hold on to those 30s, man.
Man, I still remember you in the Cubs, King High School.
Man, Michigan, being a bad freshman at Michigan. I was talking to Soup on the phone the other day after, Coach Parrish passed away. So I talked to him for a hot second. But even Soup's like, man, you ain't 40 yet? I'm like, man, I'm holding on. I got one of those fake birth certificates.
Oh, man, that's crazy. But we anytime you got Tom Brady and just with this talent we got, Super Bowl, the expectation. And, we ain't playing it next week, so one day at a time. And, guys, I was fortunate enough, I won 2 of them before, and it was kind of like deja vu, sort of just that next year, you're trying to be hungry, you're trying to talk to, to motivate the guys, and everybody gunning for you. That team is gone. It's a new team, but we just ran out of gas. And, of course, the injury bug didn't help us, Antonio Brown situation.
Oh, boy.
And we ran into the Super Bowl champs at our house, and we made a game of it late in the fourth quarter, but we just came up short. But hopefully these guys come back, next month. Well, they start next week. And guys just, they're focused and ready to go get it again.
Larry Foote joins us here on the Bottom Line. Of course, Ermanni, Edwards, and are on Woodward Sports. Larry, I wanted to ask you about Michigan here and Jim Harbaugh. Last week, the spring game on Saturday, and he had Colin Kaepernick at his side, and Cap was the honorary captain. He threw at halftime. What's your take on all of that, Jim, taking him under his wing and trying to get him a gig in the NFL? Do you think we'll see Cap in the NFL again?
I don't know. That's tough. It's been so many years. I'll be surprised if we do. It'd be a great thing for football that we'll see him back. I wish, Braylon, you should have been out there. I questioned some of those wide receivers that was catching the ball when I was watching. And I know you still in shape. I think, they should have gave you a call. It could have made him look good.
Hey, man, this Planet Fitness that we got going on in the studio, man, I might have to get out there and get in the gym a little bit and see what can happen in August. I'm not doing anything before August.
You being 39, you better watch that Achilles. You better start stretching now and drink a little more water.
It's very true. Very true. The H2O becomes much more prevalent when you get in those 30s, early 40s.
Hey, Larry.
Every time I'm running, my Achilles be sore. I go downstairs. Hey, before the Achilles pop, do it be sore? What's happening? Training.
Does it warn you?
Pop.
Does it give you a warning?
Hey, Larry, I wanted to ask you about the quarterback position in the NFL. We'll look at our own team here in the Lions. Do you need that elite of the elite quarterback to win in that league? I mean, obviously, you guys get
You're asking him?
Well, I'm saying you guys get Tom Brady back. You feel a little bit different now about the season coming up than if you didn't have Tom Brady.
Blaine Gabbert.
Right? I mean, come on. Is this league all about having that elite guy now?
Well, I don't think it takes that to win it. I think history tells us. I think one thing that's not spoke about is the psychological part. When you got a guy, I mean, it elevates every position on your game, on your team. So, just if you're a corner, you got an elite quarterback. You got a chance of going to the playoffs or winning the Super Bowl. So your whole mindset of training and competing and dreaming, it all is thinking about the Lombardi. So I think from a psychological standpoint, you got to have it. And, as the owner, shoot ticket sales and sponsorships and all that stuff. So you got to have them from that perspective. But defense wins championships. Every year you look back, you got to have an elite defense for stopping the run. And you see some of them great, like the Peyton Mannings and, those long careers, but they didn't have good defense. Peyton, I know he won one and ended up getting one in Denver, and shoot, he was average at best that year if you go back. So that defense carried him. So I will always, I'm not just being a homer, but if you got a rock solid, if you got a special defense, you can win the Super Bowl, whoever's your quarterback.
Larry, Tigers opening day tomorrow. I know you wear that 313 proud.
Oh, man, I would love to go there.
Talk to me. I mean, we got a chance.
The weather sucks.
The weather sucks. It's going to be like 44 and rainy.
That's the day I wouldn't mind. I'll just bundle up. I mean, it's nothing like opening day downtown Detroit. I did that, experience that a few times, and it is awesome.
They got a chance this year. You going to catch a few games?
The kid, how long the kid out broke his foot?
6 to 8 weeks. Riley Green.
Okay, yeah, we get him back.
But we got
Austin Meadows.
Last year.
We got your guy from Tampa, Austin Meadows, to fill the void.
And we got Akil Badu.
27 home runs, 109 RBIs. So, hey, he'll fill those shoes pretty nicely, I think.
Yeah, we got to get off to a good start. I'm tired of seeing all these World Series with our former players. So hopefully they could be in it sometime in August, and I'll be happy. I'll call it a success.
And Larry, I'm bowling with your dad this summer. Any suggestions for me?
Trash talk. Trash talk. There we go. When I beat him, trash talk him. I done seen him in some of his tournaments. He's all quiet, trash talking, get him off his game. So you have
Sounds good.
That's so
Thanks,
good.
man.
It's Maz's bowling night tonight. Everybody watch your wallets. Larry, thanks so much, my friend. We are so happy for your success, and thanks so much for giving us some time here, my friend.
Thanks for hitting us up.
Oh, man. Thank you, guys. Go Blue.
From the Cubs to the league, man.
Go Blue,
We'll stay in touch.
Absolutely. Larry Foote, co-defensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Bucks. You know, you talk about guys that have just done it the right way their whole careers. You know what I mean? I mean, Larry Foote is one of those guys, from player to coach, linebackers coach, now elevated to defensive coordinator. He could be a head coach in this league one day.
Should have been a Lion.
Yeah.
Man, it's amazing. Just looking at where he comes from, looking at the West Side Cubs. Man, I played for the West Side Cubs.
Lots of talent come from the West Side Cubs.
Sauce Gardner might have played for the Cubs. Now I think about it. You look at Pershing, to go from Pershing High School, John J. Pershing High School, to Michigan, and now he's a defensive coordinator, 2-time Super Bowl winner, 1-time Super Bowl as a coach. Man, it doesn't get any better than that. His dream is real, and I'm proud of him. Just happy to call him my brother.
We're going to get to some baseball talk next. Tigers opening day tomorrow. Otherwise, opening day around the league today. Brewers and Cubs right now. Is that scoreless after 2? Scoreless after 2. Look at that.
Wrigley
Field.
The friendly confines.
Ermanni and Edwards.
I think Tigers at -1 right now. Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
For it and we listen. The Seafood Festival is back at Big Boy, including a Friday night seafood buffet. Catch it while you can, available at participating locations until April 24th. Also available, the new fish sandwich. We'll see you at Big Boy.
Opening day is going to be fun as hell this year. We are at the Brass Rail. Go ahead, check us out, Maz. I got your back. Go ahead,
Appreciate
man.
it, We'll start you off tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. from the Brass Rail. Come on down, see Adam and the gang. And then, of course, after that, 11 to 1, you got Big D Energy. And you got the man, Darren McCarty, and his bobblehead. And, of course, Terry Foster. Terry Foster will be down there as well. They're going to be at the Music Hall Amphitheater, right outside the Music Hall, a keg lifting competition. They got live music, DJs all the time. Then we're going to be back at the Brass Rail between 2 and 4. It's really the first opening day in 3 years, the first real one. Weather's going to be fine. I guarantee the weather's going to be great. Tigers going to beat the White Sox. It's all going to be good. Woodward Sports heavyweights are going to be on the street. Come on down. We got stuff to give out. We got some sunglasses this year to give out. They're really, really cool. So come on down. Check it out. Woodward Sports opening day tomorrow down at Comerica Park and, of course, surrounding down in Detroit. Be there.
Who cares if the weather is nice? Because you know what? Mads is going to be there. I'm going to be there. Ryan's going to be there. D-Mac is going to be there. Terry Foster and the crew. And guess who else was going to be there? Gypsy Vodka. That's right. Gypsy Vodka will be in the building. Michigan's gluten-free vodka. 50 formulas and countless taste tests went in to make sure that this is the product for you. And guess what? It definitely is. Also featuring Moscow Mule in the can right now. That is also one of my favorites. Come on down. Check them out. But if you can't come down, it's okay. Go to your liquor store nearest you and ask for them by name. If you're going to drink responsibly. And don't also forget, their corn distilled 6 times using artesian spring water. Ooh. My man. Gypsy Vodka.
Look at that. Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards talking a little baseball.
Shout out to Larry Foote, man. I appreciate it.
Was that great or what?
He texted me. I had to put him on.
Is that great?
He's like,
no.
I can go now, Maz. I'm like, okay, we got you.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hey, good stuff by Sam, too. I see you over there working hard, Sam.
Absolutely. Speaking of Sam, you've got somebody else on the line right now. We talking baseball with Tony Paul?
We will in a minute.
We will in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
There it is.
What do you want me to do now? Just talk to me. It's not.
That's okay.
You want me to break, or do you want me?
I figured we'd get a couple commercials in quickly, 30 seconds.
Okay.
Say hi to everyone. Tell us Tony Paul's coming up next, and stay tuned.
Look at that. We'll do it next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag, the place where I put all my sports wagering in. Great interface. I have it right on my homepage on my phone. You just click it, sign in, and you're on your way to winnings, hopefully. Cubs are already playing today. No score right now in the third inning at Wrigley. Tigers getting ready tomorrow. Take on the White Sox. You know the over-under, 78.5. They won 77 last year. Where are you putting your money?
How is that just 78?
Well, we're going to ask Tony Paul about that in a second. MyBookie.ag, and the promo code is Woodward for all your free money. They'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please use the Michigan Problem Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117. The Tigers kicking butt still.
Look at that. Tiger -1, 3 shots back of Cameron Smith. Cameron Smith is -4 through 14 holes.
So
how about that?
Cameron Smith was an individual that a lot of people had winning this year. Really good friends with Dustin Johnson at one point. Then they got into a thing, and now they're beefed out. They don't talk anymore. Dustin Johnson won 2 years ago. He won the Masters.
What did he hit on Paul?
So you know Cameron Smith is pissed about that. You know his boy is like, so we beef out, he now wins. So a lot of people had Cameron Smith to win, so he's actually not a surprise at all.
Wow.
Our good friend James Pyatt, our good friend just because local guy, Michigan State, he is +5 through 12 right now. You wonder what kind of pressure it is to play behind Tiger Woods. I mean, there's only so many places those fans can go, right? So I'm sure he's surrounded. Do we have Tony Paul?
Yeah, he's all over the golf as well. He's following him.
Absolutely. Let's bring him in. Tony Paul, sports writer, Detroit News. Tony, how you doing, my friend?
Good, guys. How are you?
Doing good.
Tony, thank you.
Hit you with a quick golf question. What do you think it's like for James right off the bat?
Well, I think he's having the time of his life. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't want to be 5 over par, but what an opportunity, what an experience for a 23-year-old kid. When I talked to him a week and a half ago, he told me, he's like, I'm 23 years old, and I think it feels like I've peaked already. That's how that's how good his life is right now. So, you know, really, I'm sure he was nervous and everything, but there wasn't a lot of pressure on him. You know, I mean, it's just an experience of a lifetime, and I'm sure once it's all over, whether it ends tomorrow or Sunday, he's going to look back quite fondly on the time he spent at Augusta.
Hey, Tony, one more golf question, too. Speaking of Augusta, just talk about how hard it is, man, how hilly it is. I don't think watching it on TV, it doesn't do it justice for the average fan watching the game. It's so hilly going up and down. I think one of those hills has a 240-foot drop when you're headed towards the green. What's that going to be like for Tiger, who's playing on basically a leg and a half?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they say that TV just doesn't do it justice, and even on TV it looks pretty undulated and pretty hilly. But it's extreme. It's considered the toughest walk in golf, and that's why that was really the only concern with Tiger coming in, was whether he'd be able to hold up the leg over the course of walking 72 holes, because he played that tournament in December with his kid, but he didn't walk. He rode a cart, so that was the biggest concern for him, was whether he could walk this course, because the game is not a concern. Anybody who watched him hit the balls in December can tell that the game is not a concern. He knows Augusta. He plays it well, and he's played quite well today. It'll be interesting to see just how the health holds up for 4 days.
Talking to Tony Paul, sports writer, Detroit News. Tony, we just mentioned, Maz had just mentioned, talking a little baseball now. The Detroit Tigers win total 78.5 over under this year. They won 77 last year after starting the year 9-24. I mean, where am I getting this wrong a little bit? Because I think this is so far grossly under where they could be. Why is it so low, do you think, that Vegas total?
They know.
I don't know. I don't set odds like that. If I knew, I'd be very rich. I'm a terrible sports bettor, so I don't understand how they set them. I don't know why they set them. The natural inclination would be that the Tigers would be over that number. And if you talk to, there's a couple sports books that I've talked to that the Tigers are the third most bet over of all the teams in baseball. So there's a lot of people that agree with you. They see more wins than that. I think this is a winning baseball team. I have concerns about the bullpen. I have concerns whether the young pitchers are going to take that step this year. But the lineup is, just leaps and bounds better than it was a year ago. If you put the comparison out there, it's not even close. So yeah, I like over. I like a winning season for this team. But the expression is Vegas knows. They always know something. You don't know what they know, but they always know something. So we'll find out.
Riley Green goes down 6 to 8 weeks. The Tigers acquire Austin Meadows. What did that signify to you, and what should that signify to Tigers fans all across the country?
I think honestly this is being overblown as far as them picking him up, as far as all the credit that's been, like the quote that Alavila had.
That was ridiculous, I thought. That was ridiculous.
I got to thank Chris Illich. I got to thank Chris. You know what? If you are an owner and you even have to be asked for approval on a deal like that, that's absurd. First of all, Austin Meadows is a fine baseball player. He had a really good year in 2019. Didn't have a great year in that shortened season. Last year, he obviously had a lot of home runs, a lot of RBIs. He's a good ball player. Not very good defensively, but certainly a big bat for that lineup. He makes $4 million. So, and he's not a free agent for 3 years. So it was a no-brainer move to go get him. I think it was a move they had to make, a move like that. And I just think that the praise is just silly. Who wouldn't go get this guy on that price tag for that? For Isaac Paredes. For a guy who's, can hit you 25 home runs, 90 RBIs for the next 3 years, it's pretty cheap. I think it was a good move. I think it was a no-brainer.
Hey, Tony, talking to you again. Let me ask a question. Last year, we saw how well the Tigers finished. We saw where they finished, and we got excited. You have the optimism. Did the Tigers do enough so far in this? Well, not so far. Did the Tigers do enough in the offseason, the shortened offseason that was, to get over that hump, to get over these wins, and actually maybe even to win the division? Did they do enough?
Well, I think they did a lot, and I think they did more than what maybe Tiger fans are giving them credit for. Here's what I will give Chris Illich the credit, right? He spent over $250 million. So he said he was going to spend, and he spent. Now, he spent on players that maybe weren't the Tigers fans' first choice. He didn't get Carlos Correa. He got Eduardo Rodriguez, a fine starting pitcher, but maybe not the one, not the number one for Tiger fans. But if you look at where they spent their money, they got a quality catcher, which was a big position of need. They upgraded the rotation with 2 veterans, including one that you could consider an ace or maybe a 1B in Rodriguez. They go out and they get a major bat in Baez. They add Austin Meadows. I think they did a fair amount. Whether it's enough to compete for the division, I'm not quite ready to say that. I think the White Sox are still the class of the division. But I think the Tigers have a very good chance to be that number 2 team that pushes Chicago. A lot of people raving about Minnesota. They did get Carlos Correa, which was a big surprise. But I'm not as sold on Minnesota as a lot of people. And I think the Guardians, it's weird to say the Guardians, but I believe the Guardians and the Royals, that's the Royals, I think that's still their name. But I think that they're below the Tigers. So I think that they did a lot. I'm not sure they did enough to contend for the division, but there's an extra playoff spot this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if come late July or early August, if they're in the mix, and maybe can add a piece or two at the deadline.
Who do you like this year, Tony? Any surprise teams? I think the Angels maybe make some noise this year if they can get any kind of pitching. they're going to be dangerous. I know Noah Syndergaard came out today and said, we're not scared of those guys across town, talking about the Dodgers and, of course, the Padres, too. They're down with Fernando Tatis. All these extra rules now. I love the universal DH. I'm looking forward to seeing it, how it works in the National League. When I sit down and watch a National League game now, it's going to be a little bit of a different feel. But what's your take on the pitching clock, all of that stuff, and some of your sleepers this year?
Well, it was nice to see Rob Manfred do one thing well in his entire tenure as commissioner and finally making the universal DH. I think that's been a long time coming. It never made sense to me that, you had two different sets of rules for two different leagues. I mean, who does that? And, as much as I love watching pitchers bunt or try to bunt or, the guy over to third, I think that we're going to much more enjoy seeing more sluggers in the National League and in interleague play. So that's a great move. A lot of this other stuff, whatever. It's change for the sake of change, for change's sake. I don't like most of it. As far as this year, I mean, look, you go like the Angels. Everyone's loved the Angels for 10 years. I mean, at some point they have to live up to their expectations, and it always does come down to pitching for them. And I'm not sure they went, that they're that much better on that front. They obviously have a great offense, so I don't know. I mean, look, the two that stand out to me. Obviously, I think Boston had a fine off season, so there's another team. The Yankees are always going to be in the mix, but I think what's most important, fellas, is that we're finally going to see, going into a season, we're gonna watch a baseball team here in Detroit that I think we're finally excited about, at least to some level, and it's been 8 years since you can say that, so that's at least exciting.
Hey, Ryan went over the weather again. Ryan, I'm going to let you take this one, and Tony, I'll let you just guess. When's the last time there was a good weather day for opening day? What year?
Oh boy, God, I know there's been some brutal ones. I mean, there has to have been one in the last 10 years, right?
Well, that's just it.
there it is.
If you look at this graphic, so Derek Kevra put this.
I know a good one. I heard the weather was really good on opening day in July in 2000.
Yeah,
I think it rained that day.
Yeah,
too.
right. No, I don't think so. Derek Kevra on Fox 2 this morning put this graphic up. Why does it always seem like the weather sucks on opening day? Well, because it does. Yeah. 2021, 37 in snow. 2019, he did not put 2020 in here because of the July start. Right. 2019, showers. 2018, rain. 2017, flurries. 2016, snow. The last nice opening day was April 6th of 2015, 7 years ago.
Okay.
Unbelievable,
all right,
man.
Well, it's early April or late March. Opening day is in Detroit is late March, early April. It's going to be crap weather for a lot of the time. But it's something about opening day that makes the weather kind of a non-factor. I remember going to his fan before I started covering it. Yeah, that helped. That helped. Yeah, there was one opening day. The last one I think I went to as a fan. I think it was against the Blue Jays back in, I don't know what year, 2007, 8, 9, something like that. And then I started covering that. But that was the last one I went to as a fan. I used alcohol so much to warm me up that I had to ask someone the next day who won the game. So, that's opening day for you. But that does help. It tends to help.
Hey, Tony, how about move? This is my idea from years ago, and I know people talk about it, but then they poo-poo it. Why not move these games and start opening day here in mid-April or second week of April here on the East Coast?
And then, so start the season then, or just start all the northern teams on the West Coast?
Yes, the northern teams on the West Coast are in domes. I mean, how easy is that?
Well, Lynn Henning explained this to me. The reason that they don't just do that blanket-wise is because under that scenario, Major League Baseball likes teams that start the season at home to end the season on the road, and then teams that start on the road to end the season at home. And so if you're one of these northern eastern teams and you start every season on the road, or on the road, you'll start at home. Is that fair to the other teams that maybe want to end at home? So that's kind of MLB's process there. I don't know if it really matters. It makes sense. I think it'd be nice to start in some good weather too. But that's the reasoning, and that because if you start at home, you tend to end on the road, and vice versa.
That don't make sense, but that's baseball.
Hey, Tony, if you still were trying to figure it out,
not a lot makes sense to me. Rob Manfred era of baseball.
Not at all.
Hey, Hey, Tony, if you still were trying to figure it out, it was 2007, and the Tigers did lose to the Blue Jays 3-5.
Unbelievable.
All right. See, I've been waiting 15 years to know what happened in that game.
There you go, buddy.
I don't drink anymore. That day was one of the reasons probably why.
You don't drink any less either.
Well, I don't think anybody does anymore. Tony, we appreciate the time, bud. Thanks as always. Check out Tony in the Detroit News. Follow him on Twitter at TonyPaul1984. And one of these days, he's going to be able to change that Twitter to maybe a year where the Tigers could win their next World Series, even though that's not why.
Not this year, but maybe someday.
Tony Paul 2023.
There we go. There's some predicting for that.
There you go.
Thanks, Tony.
All right,
Appreciate
guys,
it, bud.
take care.
You
See you,
bet.
man. See you at the
All right,
park.
good stuff. Yeah, a lot of excitement around Tigers baseball this year. It's just going to be fun to maybe not be out of it at the end of April this year.
Did you hear
right?
his excuse for baseball to not change the schedule?
Start at home,
because
end at home.
because they have to end. Nothing makes sense. I can make the schedule. Allow all these guys at Google and all of this other crap. Let them make the schedule. They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. Don't give me this crap weather. I don't want to start now. I want to start next week at home.
There you go. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, bottom line.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners of the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. Baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang! I want to tell you about Wingsnob. Yep, fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken. Wingsnob has the best traditional wings. Try out signature sauces, Jamaican jerk, or lemon pepper wings. Toss perfection in any sauce you pick. When the wings are this good, you're allowed to be a snob. Find a location. Order online near you. Wingsnob.com. Wingsnob.com. We just have better wings.
SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for over a decade against the issues surrounding mental health and substance use disorder. With the help of NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives around these issues. Sports Marketing Agency Podcast, This Is the Effort, has recently started on Woodward Sports Network, and I advise you, I actually recommend that you go to the website, that is thesportsma.com or woodwardsports.com, and check out the podcast. It is very in-depth in talking about some of these issues. If you're struggling with substance abuse or mental health, Sports Marketing Agency is here to help. Go to the website, thesportsma.com.
It is Thursday on the eve of opening day. 24 hours from now, 22 hours from now, the Tigers will be playing baseball in the Motor City. How about that, fellas? Pretty darn good stuff, huh?
I'm excited, especially since I haven't been there in 3 days. I mean, 3 days. Especially I haven't been in 3-4 years. So excited to get down there and actually be a part of Woodward Sports Network as we're watching opening day and commenting on opening day.
So as one season begins, one season coming to an end, Cade Cunningham, the Detroit Pistons last night, really, they hung in there for a while, and Cade Cunningham is doing everything in his power to win Rookie of the Year. The organization is as well. Your take on Cade last night and this last stretch of the season, and how much of the injury at the start of the season, the first 2-3 weeks he missed, and then it took him a little time to get into that season.
Right.
How much did that damage him? Or, I don't want to say that narrative word again, but how much of a tag do you think that hurt him if he does not win Rookie of the Year?
I don't know how much it would have hurt him, to be honest. I think that, the people that he's going up against, they had really good starts to their season regardless, and one of them, just what Cade is doing has only been done 10 times in history. So I don't think it happened him. I actually think the conversation that he and Dwayne Casey had before the season started, I think is one that actually benefited him. Say, hey, man, take your time getting ready. Make sure that when you come out here, when you put your feet on the hardwood, that you're ready to go this year. And I think he took that very, very true to heart, and I think that's what you saw. He actually talked about himself, Ryan. He said, I don't want to be rookie of the first 3 weeks of the year. I don't want to be rookie of December and November. He said, I want to be rookie. I wanted to be rookie of the year. And I think you've watched his growth throughout the process. It's kind of spot on what Rod Beard has told us all season, starting back in August, that it's going to take some time. But he is a guy that's very mature for his age. He came out as a leader. He plays on both ends of the floor. He plays defense, he plays offense, and he's a leader. So I like what I see out of Cade Cunningham. He's a guy that you like to watch. He's a guy that leads. So Pistons are in good hands with him. Sadiq Bey came on strong when he wasn't out. I mean, we watched Sadiq Bey drop 50. You know, in that crazy month that was March with all the 50-point games, guess what? We had a guy that dropped 52, and that was Sadiq Bey. So you get excited about that. Marvin Bagley III, he's giving you some energy. That's what they needed. They needed that energy, that high-octane guy. Give you some dunks, some alley-oops, some big boards. Sometimes a good aggressive rebound is just as good as a dunk. It's just as good as a three-ball from half court. So he gives you that from time to time. And now you're excited because you said the Pistons are probably going to finish in that third spot, which means we're going to have a chance at one of the good four. That's Jaden Ivey, that's Chet Holmgren, that's Jabari Davis, and that's your boy, Banchero.
Oh, Paolo Banchero.
Yeah, Paolo Banchero. So we'll have a chance at one of four of those guys, man. You get the right guy, a big guy, whether it's Jabari Davis from Auburn or whether it's Banchero from Duke. You put those two guys, you mix that in there with what Cade is doing, what Sadiq Bey is doing. It's kind of exciting stuff, man.
Cade's a leader. I mean, he could have shut it down. Matter of fact, they said, hey, we're going to shut him down the rest of this year. You know, nothing to play for. Basically, you don't want to get him to hurt. Guess what? He was there last night. Guess what? He was in the referee's face. Got a technical last night. I liked it, actually.
Gotta love it.
I liked him standing up for himself. Hey, he's getting pushed around, stood up for himself. I love it. The kid is a leader, plays defense. Hell, he was guarding Doncic, man.
Yes.
I mean, he was right on him.
Nobody wants that matchup. Nobody likes to guard Doncic. Patrick Beverly, who's an individual that we say is a great perimeter on-ball defender. You may not like his offensive skill because he doesn't have any, but Patrick Beverly said that Luka Doncic is the hardest guy he's ever had to cover.
Man.
And Cade was right there guarding him.
Guarding him, man. But Killian Hayes, I like what I've seen this year about it, but the kid, he can't shoot. He can't shoot. I've never seen a worse shot. I don't know.
Is that something you can develop? By the way,
I don't think so.
You're kind of a good shooter. You're not. Something you're going to work on.
Way off.
I mean, you can work on your shot, but you could probably only get like marginally better. Now I like Kate.
He's a hustler. I'm rooting for him.
I like Killian Hayes. I'm not crapping down his throat because this is his rookie year, and he has shown me that he can stick around and be an asset to this team moving forward. As far as the shooting goes, it is something that's got to come along.
I mean, there are plenty of trainers. You have Lethal Shooter out there. You have Lethal Shooter is a big trainer of the NBA guys. You have Chris. I can't think of his last name. A lot of these influencers guys on Instagram. These guys are working with these players. You see them getting better and better and better. They work with these guys, man. And your shot can get better. I'm trying to think of the guy. It'll lose me. First pick overall. And when it'll come to me. Played for 76ers. They worked on his shot. So your shot can.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
He ended up going to Orlando Magic.
What's his name? Markelle Fultz.
Markelle Fultz. They worked on his shot a little bit, and his shot, he actually was decent. Got in the NBA, got bad. They worked on it again. He goes on to Orlando. Shot got a lot better. It's still not where it needs to be, but I think you can work on a shot. When you draft the guy in the first round, that means you believe the guy has that potential. If it is what it is, does he want to get better? Does he want to be able to shoot? Does he want to listen to somebody? I think that's where the question comes in. Yeah,
I hope so. He's a good-looking kid. I like what he does. I think he looks like he fits on that team, but he's got to shoot better. I
tell you who doesn't fit on the team, and that's LeBron James and the Lakers.
Amen.
Can you believe it? They're not in the playoffs.
And he wants to play with Steph Curry now.
Can you believe?
What do you mean he wants to play with Steph Curry?
That's what he said.
Well, hold on. You got to get context.
Him at his barbershop, HBO show.
They were asking him about playing with certain players, et cetera, and then they asked him about, if you could play, because the question started somewhere else. And then it got to that. So it wasn't LeBron trying to pick at playing with another team. But with that being said, we know how LeBron operates. And so guys like you and I, that's how we took it. It's like, here's LeBron throwing it out there so you can see what he's trying to do. And Steph Curry kind of listened to it and shot it down. He said, no, I'm good right now, which was great. LeBron had a great year individually, okay? I don't want to take anything away from the old man, 37, averaging 30 points a game. It doesn't matter. Like, I hate when people do that. He averaged 30 points a game. All those 30 points were necessary because they still are 17 games under 500. So apparently they were necessary. But you put this team together. You constructed this team, and we talked about it yesterday. You constructed this team. You vetoed the trades that they wanted to do. You said no to the people they wanted to bring in. You made them bring your guy in, which is Russell Westbrook. You knew it wasn't going to work. You guys can't fit together. He's a ball-dominant point guard, just like you. So you knew it wasn't going to work. But here's the problem I have with LeBron. I have a problem at the end. So now you know you guys aren't going to be in the play-in tournament, and you don't play the rest of the season. You construct this horrible team, and then you sit out.
He quit.
Then that's essentially quitting on your team. Hey, you know what? I know we're not going to make the play-in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on one of my outfits.
I don't want to be part of this.
I'm going to sit on the bench, and then I'm going to say, yeah, I'm trading all y'all next year. You need to trade yourself. Is what you need to do. So I don't like that he quit on the team at the end. Like, he had a great year. He put some BS together, so he deserves a lot of the fault, if not all of it. But you don't quit on your team at the end, man. There's 4 games left. You suck it up and play. You got 4 games, and then you can go on your vegan diet and your Pashakwa, whatever it is Aaron Rodgers and you guys are doing out there in L.A.
You heard Rod Beard yesterday. All the blame is on him. All
and that's
the
coming
blame.
from Rod.
He's a unique superstar in that.
Smith.
You could have him.
In that, there's the greatness, obviously, but then there's the selfishness. Then there's the GM, creating all of these teams.
Remember Bugs Bunny? Bugs Bunny first base, Bugs Bunny second base, Bugs Bunny third base. Back in the day, and no one even knows who Bugs Bunny is. I'm sorry. I'm 60 years old. But yeah, you can't be coach, owner, GM, player, captain. You can't do it all.
And then there's an element to him of a little bit of a front runner, right? I mean, there was no way he was playing in that game, that elimination game, because he didn't want to be in uniform walking off the court a loser.
Getting embarrassed by the Suns.
He wanted to bring everybody else into L.A., all these guys, let them play and take the L and let them walk off the court. Because you can't tell me that he shouldn't have been playing in that game. The 2 games leading up to being eliminated.
Here's the funny thing.
That's one of the most unique things you will ever see a superstar do.
Funny thing about it is he tweeted out on April Fool's Day. I mean, on April 1st, he tweeted out, "Oh, I'm done for the year." Nah, April Fool's, I was lying. So he basically April Fool's his April Fool's.
Right.
He basically was telling the truth in his April Fool's. But the
See
NBA
you in the fall.
But the good
he
thing,
wasn't kidding.
But you know what? You know what this gives us is LeBron has done so many amazing things. You can't take that away from him. He's been an amazing player. I don't put him in my top 5, but, it's neither here nor
Good
there.
for you.
But what this gives us is an opportunity to watch the playoffs and focus on different narratives or different, not narratives, storylines that have nothing to do with LeBron. I don't want to listen in the playoffs. All freaking NBA playoffs, or for the play-in tournament at least, about LeBron James and can he do it? Is he going to be the person to do this? Is it his fault? Is it blah, blah, blah? I want to hear about Ja Morant. I want to hear about Devin Booker. I want to hear about Embiid. I want to hear about what Jokic is doing in Denver, which is unheard of without Jamal Murray. I want to hear about those storylines. I want to hear about the 76ers. What's going to happen with Embiid and Harden? Is Harden really the guy that falters in the playoffs? Is he the guy that can't get it done? I want to hear about Jason Tatum, who's playing amazing with the Celtics. The Celtics are playing the best basketball in the NBA right now. The Celtics, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. I want to hear those stories. I don't want to be talking about La GM and the 1-round playoffs. So you know what? I'm glad he's out because now we can focus on things that matter.
Can I say this too? And Maz, you're wearing the pullover.
I am.
The Brooklyn Nets last night coming back down 17 against the New York Knicks, only to win by 12. And
It's the second time this year they've done
I'll tell you
that.
one of the unsung heroes of that team, and I want a pat on the back here. Seth Curry. You talk about shooters. You talk about guys that improve their shot. Seth Curry is as valuable an asset to the Brooklyn Nets as, you go KD, you go Kyrie, and then I'm telling you, Seth Curry, every championship team needs that spot-up shooter. You need that guy that can just sit there on the wing, go to the corner, wherever you want, kick out and shoot and make that. What does LeBron James not have? He doesn't have a Seth Curry. Not Steph Curry, Seth Curry.
Who won that trade?
That was a huge acquisition for him.
Who won it?
When this trade first started, when this trade first happened, you were out. It was me, you, and it was Nick Leach. Nick Leach was sitting in your chair, manager was sitting up here, and we were talking about it. And that was one of the biggest things we talked about. Leach and I legitimately said, Seth Curry is going to be a guy that's going to be huge for them. He's going to make a lot of shots. Not to mention, Seth Curry is a guy that can go in there, play minutes. Seth Curry is a guy that is unfazed, and like he has been on a lot of teams. He's never been afraid to go against anybody. He's never been afraid to be .1 in situations where Kyrie would need a break, or whoever point guard he was spelling would need a break and shoot. You got Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond has found how to rebound again. Andre Drummond,
perfect role.
He's a walking double-double. He's been averaging smooth 12 and 12 since he's been with the Nets. See, that's more bodies that you can throw at an Embiid. That's more bodies that you can throw at a Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I tell you what, Maz, Brooklyn Nets won that deal. You want to see Ben Simmons. He hasn't played. I don't think he should play in the playoffs. I think they should stay away unless they get to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's the only time I will play him.
All right. I'd like to see him play a little bit.
I just think with the back, because, he took the epidural shot for his back. We never knew it was that bad when he was with the 76ers. We just thought it was the mental health thing and him not wanting to play. Then it's the mental health side of things. You talk about throwing a kid with a bad back and mental health issues right into the fire of something that they got to get going. And that's why I would throw caution to the wind. You don't want to put him in that situation when you guys have built something that it seems that could stand on his own 2 feet for a couple of years.
He had to have played the last couple of weeks to get loose. That's what I was hoping for.
Going to take a break while I get back to the NFL if we
and
could
Beer
next.
Man too.
Oh, Beer Man. Oh, my God. Beer Man's coming up. Jeez, we're packed on a Thursday. Today's Thursday, right?
It is.
Friday Eve. What was Sports Network? The bottom line.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. Chris and Noni Hutt, your great host. Make sure you tell them Woodward Sports sent you. Foaling is the football bowling game. It's phenomenal, great fun for you and the family. Couple ways to play: $10 unlimited open play, and of course you can have your own lane reservation as well. 2 hours, run you $120, but you can put 10 or 12 people on the lane itself. You want somebody you're hungry, bring your own food in. Have a picnic, have it delivered. They don't care. The place is huge. You can set it up and still have some fun foaling. How about getting your drink on? Over 100 beers they offer. The $2 mystery beer machine. Multiple full bars as well. So get your foal on and do it soon. Make sure you tell them Woodward Sports sent you. Check them out at foalingwarehouse.com.
And hey, gang, I want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac, located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. Les Stanford, your Corvette king. GM announced that all-new 2023 Corvette Z06. How about 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds? They are your Corvette king. For more, head over to CorvetteKing.com, CorvetteKing.com. And for all your Chevy and Cadillac needs, go to LesStanford.com. Don't worry about that chip shortage. Don't worry about supply chain. They've got a vehicle for you, and if they don't have one right now, they will get you one ASAP. If you've got a used car, you want to trade in your car, Les Stanford, an authorized lease return center. Any make, any model, they'll take it from you.
Authorized.
That's right. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
Find them.
And look who we found on this Thursday afternoon. The Beer Man, Chris Prince, on Twitter, at BeerMakersFan. Beer, how are you, my friend?
I am good, guys. Good to be back. How is everybody?
Well, good,
I'm
buddy.
doing good, man. How you doing? Always good to be with you on a Thursday, especially a Thursday that is leading into opening day.
Well, look at this guy. Chris's Brewers are on the field right now at Wrigley.
The Brew Crew.
Yeah, excited to get baseball going. We got the Masters going. We got NBA playoffs right around the corner, guys. I mean, it's just a great time to be a sports fan. Lots of things to bet on. So we're going to find some winners for everybody out there.
How big is this golf tournament? How big is the Masters when it comes to actual betting?
It seems to grow every year, Ryan. It started out, it was kind of a niche thing, and now as it's grown in popularity, DFS-wise, fantasy-wise, The golf used to be just who's going to win. Now you can bet who's going to win the first round, who's going to win in specific matchups, one-on-one, top 10, top 25, who's going to miss the cut. So a lot of different ways to bet golf. And obviously the return of Tiger Woods has been the big story. I know our boy Scotty G is on him to make the cut. Was a bet right around minus 108, I believe. So Tiger being back is good for golf, but plenty of ways to play fantasy in golf, even more ways to bet on golf all throughout the tournament. Always gives you a nice, fun 4-day sweat.
Definitely took a look at some of those bets before we started the show. They are, as you say, there are a ton of ways in which you can bet on this, man. Almost 2 million. It's kind of overwhelming a little bit. It's like, whoa, FanDuel, slow down just a tad bit. Talking about opening day came out. The Tigers are, what's the over-under is 78.5. What do you make of that? What do you think? I heard they are the number 3 bet on for the over.
I'm with that. I like the over on this team. We saw them really play well after a rough start, and now you talk about some of the additions that they're going to make to this team. Obviously the headliners, Baez, Torkelson, Riley Green when he's back, but even a move like Rodriguez, under the radar, adding a veteran arm to this staff, I think it's nothing but good news. And then you have, obviously, Braylon A.J. Hinch knows what he's doing. This guy knows how to win games. So I think it's for good reason that this team is a little bit undervalued. I pegged them right around 81, 82 wins. So anytime it's off by a few like that, those are what you're looking for. I think the Tigers certainly a team we want to go over. Very optimistic. And this is not a homer take. As you see, I'm a Brewers fan. I think the Tigers are set up to play very, very well and crush the over on this season.
Chris, is there a strategy for early season baseball betting? A lot of cold weather games, a lot of day games. Does that lend to an underdog? Does that lend to an under as far as a total goes? I mean, is there a rhyme or reason or a trend to early season baseball betting?
Nice.
It's hard to put it all into one umbrella and say this is the way. Mostly what I'm looking at are unders, and weather plays an important factor in baseball that not a lot of people think about. When it's hot outside, the dew points start to get up, and I'm not going to get too far in the weeds with weather. I could go into it like a weatherman, Ryan, but that's when the ball starts flying out of the ballpark. Now, when it's cold, it's rainy, some of those dew points are lower. That can keep the ball in the ballpark. Wind, obviously, a huge factor. So early on in the season with a limited spring training, guys are going to be rusty. Pitchers are going to be rusty. Hitters have not found their groove yet. So I tend to look at more unders. Again, it's not a blanket statement across the board, but unders are the way to go. Plus, everyone likes to bet overs. Everyone likes to bet favorites. So it gets you away from the public as well. Unders the way to go early in the season.
Is this something to think about for a betting situation? Canada still has their provisions as it relates to COVID-19, which means a lot of these baseball players, a lot of their best players won't be able to play when they go to Canada. Would it make sense to bet on Toronto early on in the year in terms of beating teams just because of that? I'm throwing stuff out there, but I heard it earlier. Thought it'd be good to ask you that.
Yes, but Braylon, the books have get smarter and smarter by the year. So they're going to build all of that right into the price. You know, a few years ago, maybe you could let that slide, but they're going to factor all that into the totals, things like that. So unfortunately, the edges get smaller and smaller as these books continue to get smarter and smarter, but certainly something to think about. That can be an under-the-radar thing. Guys that aren't able to play, maybe you do find a line that's better than advertised. So shopping around the lines, that's why we always talk about it, can be very important because while there are a lot of smart books, there are still some that'll miss things like that where you can get a good price on them.
Nice. Hey, Beard, go back to the Masters for a second and Tiger Woods. The Tiger Woods effect, let's have it. Let's face it, there's more eyes on this tournament because of him. I mean, I know I'm watching it more because of him. I have it on right now on my screen. I'm just following him and his threesome, and that's all I care about, actually.
Threesome.
Could you bet, or twosome, whatever the hell it is. It shows you how much I know golf.
I hear you, Bray.
Threesome, yeah. Yeah, that's about it.
I think Braylon's just referring to Tiger Woods in a threesome.
Yeah, so I mean, probably has a harem. Probably has a harem. Is it smart money to bet on him right now to let's say, I don't know. Did he hit it?
Let's go!
Tiger.
He hit it?
He nailed
Is that a
about
birdie?
20. Yeah.
There it goes. I just saw it. Oh!
Excuse me.
I'm
sorry. That was very unprofessional.
Are you betting
Chris.
him to win, Beer?
Hey, no. Come
That's
on,
very
we're having fun here.
unprofessional.
That's as professional as it gets. We're talking betting. We're talking golf. I generally stay away, Maz, because people love to bet on Tiger, and it kind of drives the price away from where you would want to get it. If I could get the fair price, on Tiger, sure.
What is it? What's a fair price?
For him to win right now is 50 to 1.
Okay.
To me, if I could get 100 to 1, I'm more likely to do it. 50 is he's the most bet golfer in the entire field to win. So they know that going in. So they drive that price down.
Still
to
pretty
a
good
reasonable
though.
level. Yeah,
still pretty good.
50 to 1 is not something you sneeze at, but
no,
it's public money. You know, team like New England. You know, there's just certain teams that they're public teams. Tiger Woods, obviously the most popular golfer, maybe the most popular athlete in the entire world. So people are going to put that bet out there. So I'm rooting for him. I know there's a lot of anti-Tiger sentiment out there, but always a good story.
Wrong.
And whether you like him or hate him, he is good for golf, and you're going to be watching to see what he's going to do here, like he just made that shot. So I don't hate the 50 to 1, but you are paying a little bit of a premium on him.
Hey, Chris, we got to take it with a grain of salt because they hated Jesus.
Why would anyone hate him? Why would anybody hate
Jesus?
Why would anybody hate this guy?
Why would anybody hate Maz? But
good point. I like that. Even better, Beer. Even better.
The truth.
Hey, you heard Braylon earlier. Tigers 78.5. They're the third most bet on over team. So that tells me what? Don't bet them. That means freaking Vegas knows that we're gonna have a 75-win season. That's what it kills me.
I'd still like that over, Maz. I know I generally stay away from what the public's doing, but a lot of times maybe the number is wrong, you know, and that's where people are piling on and noticing that. They stood out as one of the teams where the number just seemed too low. With the way they played towards the end of the season and the additions they made, how can this not be a 500 team? So, yes, generally Vegas the smartest guy in the room, but sometimes the numbers are off, and that's why you see a big piling of people jumping on that over.
All right, NBA, we're getting ready for the play-ins and the playoffs. The favorites are out there. Who are your top 3-4 teams to bet on to win it all?
Well, I got to go with my Bucks, man.
I know you do.
They are the defending champs, so I'm going to leave the homerism out of this, but I think they are certainly set up for success. Boston, a team that's kind of come on like gangbusters here of late, and I think they
just talked about Boston.
Told you.
Yeah, they have enough to do it. I mean, Tatum has really come into his own. Exactly, and defense is what, you know, the old cliche. Defense is what wins championships, but with Tatum coming into his own, with the defensive ability of Marcus Smart, who can lock down the other team's best guard, Jaylen Brown, they have some size down low. Obviously, the loss of Williams not going to help, but I really like what Boston can bring to the table. And then give me these young Memphis Grizzlies. If we can get Ja Morant back healthy, they've done well without him, which is a great sign. They have to take their steps. So I would be more of winning the Western Conference than winning the NBA title. But they played well without Ja Morant. To get him back in that lineup, he can carry a team on his own. They have defense as well. They have shooters. I think they have all the pieces necessary. So a couple longer shots there with Memphis and Boston.
Hey Chris, here's a bet. Let's stay in your hometown. Let's stay with Milwaukee. Let's stay with the Bucks. The MVP race. This thing has gotten crazy. There's 2 games left in the season. Everybody thinks it's over. Everybody thinks Jokic has won it. But then, or Jokic, excuse me, Embiid 45, 44. He's keeping pounding. And then Giannis, he's only put his team to number 2 in the East. Giannis is playing basketball at the level that we're used to when he won back-to-back MVPs. Is the race over? Is Giannis completely out of it and it's a 2-man race, or do you think Giannis has an outside chance to dethrone Jokic and beat Embiid?
I think the problem here, Braylon, is almost like, and I'm not comparing Giannis to Michael Jordan, but what I'm saying is they stopped giving the award to Michael Jordan, who probably should have won it every year. Yeah. They had to start giving it to other people. I think that's what's going to happen here with Giannis. Is it's going to get boring just giving him the award. The numbers look better than ever. He's deserving, of course. I think Embiid has had a hell of a season. He's come out and saying, what else do I have to do?
I feel bad for Embiid.
I do as well, and I think he should win it. Honestly, looking at, Jokic has been a monster, no doubt. Yeah. And if they gave it to him, nobody's shocked. I think it should be Joel Embiid, who has really put this team on his back through the entire Ben Simmons debacle, working in James Harden. He's had these ups and downs, working in different pieces.
Lost his bench?
Right, yeah. They ship out Seth Curry. There's a lot going on there. I think through it all, he has been the most consistent, the best player in the league. Probably going to be Jokic. I can't disagree with Giannis, should be up there. At the end of the day, I think it should be Joel Embiid.
Beer, you got a winner for tonight?
Minnesota, no DeJounte Murray for San Antonio. They're going to be playing thin. I like the T-Wolves here tonight, minus the 7.5.
The great Chris Prince, we call him Beer on Twitter, at BeerMakersFan. And you don't want to miss these guys. Woodward Bets, 4:30, Monday through Friday. Woodward Sports Network, Scotty G,
yes, sir.
Beer. You guys are killing it, man.
Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, we go to a lot of MLB stuff, a lot more props, things on the show coming up here. So follow the page at Woodward Bets on YouTube, on Twitter. And, guys, thank you so much for having me. Always appreciate it.
Hey, Beer, we got to get you the other Brewers cap, by the way. The mitt. Yeah, the mitt.
I got him, man. I got him.
You know he's on point. Get rid of that wheat one.
Hey, I got one more bet, one long shot, MVP in baseball. This Bobby Witt Jr. kid is the real deal.
Boy.
So rookie of the year, that's easy. Plus 8,500 to win the AL MVP.
Look at that.
Damn.
Man, oh, man. 85. Jeez.
I'll take Mike Trout comeback year.
Well,
I'll take Mike Trout.
Look at you.
You only get 4-1 on that one. I'll
front runner. Yeah,
I'll pass on that. I'll listen to the Beer Man.
All right, check Beer out. The guys on Woodward Bets, 4:30 today. Woodward Bets
I'll take
on
Javi Baez.
YouTube, Woodward Sports Network. Guys, we're going to take a break. Come right back. Maz's videos of the day next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
If you're watching the Masters right now, you'll see everybody is in shape. That's because it's April. They know May is coming. That's because they want to be in shape. They want to look good. They want those golf shirts to fit. Peter Millar, best golf shirts in the brand. This actually is a Peter Millar. You see how that arm looks?
Ooh,
see a little cut right there? See a little cut on this side? That's because I go to Planet Fitness, man, because my fitness is essential and they believe in that. Go to Planet Fitness, $10 a month.
Only $10?
Only $10, man. That's all it takes to get in shape, man. I'm talking about $0 down if you sign in person. Guess what? Also, you can be big baller shot caller. $22.99 for the black card. That's what I have because I'm a big baller shot caller. But you know what it gives me? It gives me access to over 2,000 locations worldwide. That means
worldwide.
Oh man, worldwide. Hey, worldwide, baby. That means
Worldwide West.
Hey, I know that guy. We'll talk about him off the show. Or Titus Worldwide if you're in the WWE. But that means they have access to over 2,000 locations. That means there's one wherever you are. There's one near you. Sign up in person, $0 down, or sign up planetfitness.com.
Sign up. Hey, I want to tell you about not Les Stanford Chevrolet.
I want to tell you about something.
We already did. Get in your Les Stanford Chevrolet and drive on in to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. You want to win $100K? Yep, you heard me correctly. $100,000. Just get to a Lady Jane's near you, get a precision haircut, and register for your chance to be 6 figures richer. Get to a Lady Jane's. There's over 100 locations nationwide. Check in with one of their talented stylists. Let them treat you like a king. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Relax. Watch your favorite team play. Get to Lady Jane's. Register to win $100K. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Here we go. Final segment of the program. Tomorrow we are gone. We'll be downtown. The Brass Rail broadcasting live from 2 to 4. Opening day in the D. Tigers and White Sox. 1 o'clock.
Come and see us.
Come check us out.
Started off at 8 a.m. at the Brass Rail with the morning show, then the Detroit Music Theater, right outside the amphitheater for Big D Energy, and then we follow up back at the Brass Rail. Come have some pizza and some pops with us.
Tiger Woods -1 through 16, 5 shots back of Cam Smith, who
Nobody's
is
catching him right
running
now,
away a little bit. Not running away.
Well, Ames 4 under after 8.
Yeah, 6 under through 17. He's on 18. Now time
for Maz's videos of the day.
And now it's time for Maz's videos of the day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
You know, that's the first time I ever called a soda a pop. Pizza
Really?
and pops.
Look
yeah,
at you.
It's not a pop, really. We all know it's soda. grab me a soda, right?
I used to fight with guys when I moved from LA because I moved from the story. I moved to Atlanta and then moved back. Everything down there is Coke.
Coke.
Everything down there is Coke.
Even if
Everything
it's
Coke.
Sprite.
This Coke. This Coke. I said, no, that's pop. Pop. I got into a lot of fights over Coke and soda.
It's soda, bro.
Yeah.
It's soda. I know I won't be paying $9 for a soda tomorrow like I paid at the Pistons game last night.
It's just criminal.
$9.
You see what they're doing at the Masters?
Oh, that's the best.
$1.50.
Buck and a half for an egg salad sandwich,
it's like
a pimento sandwich. Come on.
You know how much stuff costs at the Masters?
$2.
Yeah, the concessions, but not the other stuff.
Yeah, but they charge you an arm and a leg everywhere. At least you get a break on the concessions.
Golf shirt, where there's the only place you can buy that golf shirt is $1,100.
Well, I don't know about that.
Are you kidding?
Yeah,
$1,100.
Hey man, I'm throwing some stuff out there.
How much do you think that Tiger shirt is? That mock turtleneck of his? That is so nice.
It's like his price.
I love that.
Can't get it, just him.
Wisdom.
I don't got that chest like he's got though. That guy can wear.
He used to be huge, man. Like Tiger, his chest used to be big when he was doing like the military training, the Navy SEALs.
You got a good chest.
That's when
you got a good chest, man.
Leave mine alone.
All
right, show the videos, man.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Assaulted me.
Go ahead.
Let's start you off because we love Tiger Woods. We love Stu, of course, Stuart Scott from ESPN. God rest his soul. One of the best commercials ever on ESPN. Stu and Tiger.
Hey, Tiger.
Yo, Stu.
How you doing?
Good. We still on for lunch?
Yeah. What do you say? Meet me in the lobby at 12:30?
Perfect. Done. See you there.
Bye, man.
Remember this one.
I love that.
That might be the best one.
I love those commercials.
Whenever there are big moments, like Kobe or Tiger coming back, like just imagine. It's when you miss Stuart Scott.
Oh,
like it's like when you have the big moments. Though, I literally when I was watching Tiger like this whole week, getting ready for the day, I was thinking one thing on ESPN. I just miss hearing Tiger Woods, y'all. You just miss Stuart Scott.
Braylon Edwards, look at that route. As cool as the other side of the pillow.
Every time I flip my pillow, I hear his words.
Yeah,
I mean it. Every
That's
time.
real. I'm telling you.
Always.
Those moments, man, you miss him. He was the cool.
God,
he brought cool to ESPN.
He sure did, man. We miss him a lot.
Sports analyst, period,
he would have been proud of his North Carolina Tar Heels, but
Yeah, he
it
would have.
but it would have pissed him off that they blew that lead.
Right.
No question. My next one is take you back to spring training back in the 90s. Jim Leland, one of our favorites here, right?
Leland.
The only guy really to stand up to Barry Bonds. Do you remember?
I do.
Leland
Spring
against
training,
Bonds.
right?
I'm going to bring it up. It's a little low, so let's bring up the volume a little.
Don't fuck with me. I'm not fucking with nobody. Don't fuck with me, no. I've had enough of this fucking shit. I'm in it because I'm the fucking manager of this fucking team. That's why I'm in it. You don't want to be here. Get your fucking ass out. I'll do it. I don't give a I'll get it. Let everybody know that you're fucking pissed off. So let's get the fucking shit over with right fucking now. I don't want to see no more or go home. That's fucking fine. That's fucking there for 3 fucking years and I didn't get
Excuse me, bud.
God, what a gem.
Oh, mama.
Okay, what a gem. What a gift.
Nothing like
is.
a couple F-bombs to make you win NLVP.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that what a manager is all about? Like, seriously, everybody knows you're pissed off, so let's get it all out right now. If you don't want to be here, go. Otherwise, let's play. You know?
I love it.
I mean, because you go around moping, you talking behind people's back. You got something to say?
Yeah.
Say it. Let's get it over with and move on.
Jim Leland will probably be canned if he did that.
Oh,
now.
God. He'd be
Makes me
canceled.
sick. Sick to my stomach.
I love it.
Hey, let me take you back to 1994. Michael Jordan
94.
in a White Sox uniform. Michael Jordan with the game-winning hit here, or at least his team takes the lead. Harry Carey on the call. How do you not love this?
He's handled a couple of chances well. He made one there on a ground ball. Got a base hit that drove in a run. There's another hit. A drive down the third base line. The tying run may score. He's around third, racing for the plate. The throw. He hasn't touched the plate yet, and he does. Michael Jordan has tied up the ball game with a ground double to left. And this crowd
He won it.
Came here for.
Let me ask you a question. And maybe this is something we can explore, or maybe we can just take one. Well, it show's over. Was Michael Jordan a better basketball player or Tiger Woods a better golfer?
You said what?
Was Michael Jordan a better basketball player,
right,
or was Tiger Woods a better golfer? Was Michael Jordan better at basketball, or Tiger Woods better at golf?
Can I say a tie?
I mean, isn't it just...
I can't pick one.
I'm thinking of people that I am in awe of at what they do. I am in awe of Tiger Woods hitting a golf ball. I am in awe of Michael Jordan shooting a basketball.
It's tough to compare because the longevity of golf is so different. You know, Tiger started golfing at, he was, 19, I want to say. Or I think he was 19 or 20 when he joined. And now Tiger's in his 40s. He's 46, 47, so he's had much longer span.
Oh, the wind is howling there right now, too.
That's a hard one because you could go Jordan.
Yeah.
And then you be like, well, no, it's Tiger and what he did transcended. I don't know.
Hey, gang, come see us tomorrow. We'll be at the Brass Rail. Maz, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Sam?
I'm great. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Alex Mayer, baby. You going to be down there with us?
I'm there.
Oh, hell yeah. Braylon Edwards, please.
Bring a smile.
Alex, Sam, Maz, Ryan, another good show. We're excited about doing the Brass Rail tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. All 3 shows are going to be down there. Better be tuned in. In fact, don't be tuned in. Just come down there, man. Just get down there early. Get your seats. We're going to have a lot of fun, a lot to talk about, and we're going to be off the rails at the Brass Rail. I didn't mean that as a pun. Hey, check us out. Hit the like button, smash the like button. We do appreciate you guys for tuning in every day. Whether you watch us, you're listening to us, you guys are giving us something real. You guys are giving us a chance to showcase who we are and what we love to do. But just talk sports with you guys. That's the bottom line. We'll see you tomorrow.